the greatest fulfillment and joy isn't about necessarily what we do, but it's about what the people we serve, what they see within themselves.
Angela's leadership is really phenomenal. And when we think about what characteristics and qualities make a good leader, and especially a female leader, it's someone who sincerely and deeply cares about the people that they're working with and serving in the community.
When I wake up in the morning, honestly, I wake up with a million things on my mind and thinking, what role can I have in terms of making the region better in supporting people? I was extremely fortunate to be placed in this position as a leader of YWCA. My role is one of saying, how do we make sure that we're empowering our young people so that when they get older, that they're fully realizing all of their potential, while at the same time, when we're serving adults, how do we ensure that they're able to have the best quality of life from where they are, and then think about where they're going in the future. When I think back to watching the video of George Floyd, and I'll be quite frank with you, it actually took me a while to fully watch. And you can probably hear in my voice, I'm still not okay, right? But I'm still driven because I believe that we can affect change.
Angela's leadership is really helping us come together to use our personal experiences to transform that into action.
There are also some other things that we're working on that are on the horizon. But as we go forward, again, it's looking at what are concrete, deliberate steps for systems change, and that's driving our work moving forward.
So what I've seen in Angela in leading the organization through the pandemic is a truly a phenomenal ability to adapt.
We've been extremely fortunate that throughout this, we've been able to serve about 95%, if not more, of our clients through a virtual format.
Angela is at YWCA, even though she's new this year. I believe she's here for a long time, I hope. And will, lead the organization to just have a profound effect on the entire community and the systems that we're all navigating in.
Being able to work in a place of meaning. It's just been an incredible journey, and I'm just so grateful that I have an opportunity to be here. I don't take it for granted at all, not at all. I was totally not expecting that at all. So first of all, just want to say thank you to, I'll get myself together, give me a second. Okay. I want to say thank you to the committee. I have to just honor the wonderful and fabulous women who were nominated to the finalists. And I'll just be honest, I've admired you. Some of you I've been able to work with. I've been very fortunate with that. But others that I've admired from afar, and you have done phenomenal things for this community. And just want to applaud you for all that you've done, because again, I am beyond shocked. One thing that has driven me is a passage of scripture that comes from Micah chapter 6, verse 8. And it talks about, what does the Lord require but for you to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly before your God. And while I can't say that every day that I have achieved that, every morning I do wake up and I strive for that there are many people in my life who have paved the way, some that I've never met, some whose legacies I stand on, and even though I've never met them, in some way our life journeys are still connected. I'm also extremely grateful for the women that I've had an opportunity to serve, that I have been able, not only through teaching, but through my role at Fair Housing Partnership, through my role at the United Way, and now my role at YWCA, to meet some phenomenal women who have just had experiences where life has happened, and to be able to be a part of their getting back into their driver's seat of their lives and being able to sustain has been extremely powerful. There are just a few women that I want to mention, and I truly wish I had time to mention everyone that has had an impact on my life, but I don't. But I do want to mention Rhonda Hughes, who was the chair of our math department at Bryn Mawr, who, even though she didn't have to, taught the introductory calculus class so she could encourage women, particularly women of color, to major in math. Jackie Cohen, who was my dissertation advisor when I was at Hines at CMU, who she's a phenomenal, extraordinary criminologist, but yet when I decided I wanted to switch streams midway through, learned housing so that I would be able to do that, and actually gave me the space to say, I think I want to make a change, and to be able to encourage me and empower me to do that. The late Dr. Elsie Cofield, who was my pastor's wife, who actually started an AIDS outreach center in the 80s. And if you think about what that means for a church to have that, how powerful that was, because she taught me no one is untouchable. No one should be treated unfairly, that everyone is deserving of dignity and respect. And my mother, many of you have heard me speak about her, Johnny Lewis Thorpe, who was chief of staff of cardiopulmonary technology at the Hospital of St. Raphael's, and just even seeing her, how she continued to do that job, who in the midst of storms would go into work and dealt with discrimination, and grew up as a civil rights activist in Augusta, Georgia, and still raised a family and made it all happen. And now I just look back on her, and if I can only be half of who she is, that would be wonderful. And to my sister, my late sister, she passed away July 31st of last year from a heart attack, and who struggled most of her adult life. And I will say some of the programs I have designed are because of her, and seeing how she was treated and wanting to see that there would be a difference and that a change would be made. And though she is not with me anymore physically, she still continues to live in my heart and drive me forward, and actually encourage me to step out and apply for the CEO position of YWCA. To all those great women and the many others that I have not mentioned, and the fellow finalists on this panel, and to those past recipients and all of you, I am just extremely grateful. So I'm going to end where I started. And that is, when you see a wrong, whether working by yourself or with others, do what you can to right it. When you look at others who are vulnerable and oppressed, recognize that everyone is deserving of dignity and respect. You never know someone's life experience, the person that you're sitting next to at work, the person that you're sitting next to on the bus, the person who is right now on the Zoom call. You don't know what they have gone through in their lives. So always treat with respect. And then finally, to recognize we don't do this for ourselves or by ourselves, but we are part of a larger community. We are part of a larger society, that everyone's voice matters, and that we have an opportunity to truly affect change. So again, thank you.